So, Coach, obviously not the way that you wanted to wrap up the season, but just kind of came out with the wrong side of deuce sets in the first and third. What was kind of your overall takeaway from the match tonight against an Arkansas team that was really pushing for a win to end their season right?
Yeah, I think when we did the things that we worked on all week, we were pretty effective, and we were putting our teammates in situations to be successful. And then Arkansas, keeps doing, they keep playing their style. The question is if you're just going to keep shutting them down or keep scoring points, or if they're going to wear you down. And I thought there were stretches, like you said, if either of those deuce sets go the other way or both of them go the other way, I think we feel very different about the match. But we weren't able to capitalize, and I think if we would have executed a little bit cleaner in the first and third sets, then maybe those aren't even deuce sets. I think we probably could have put them in some tougher situations to open it up at times. But because we weren't playing consistent enough, we were always either chasing a point or two, or it was always tied. We weren't able to really extend or open up any sort of lead. So, and I thought that pressure kind of built on our service eve, which maybe led to some of those errors.
Kind of a high risk, high reward net defense tonight. 14 blocks, but also 8 blocking errors. I can't remember the last time a team had 8 blocking errors in what game. What was kind of the strategy to shut down Arkansas? Obviously, they have some really high-powered attackers, but some undersized attackers that maybe you can take advantage of. What was the strategy tonight?
Yeah, that's one of the things that's frustrating because, like we said, we thought that the block could have been a big disruptor, and when you're making 8. When you're in the net 8 times on blocks, it's tough to overcome that, and they get away with a lot, or they get out of rotations pretty quickly and easily. So, one of our goals in blocking is to make the simple plays, not try to have too big of body movements late where we're kind of flailing, and I think those things kind of go hand in hand. When we were making the game simple, we were getting rewarded. When we were not reading early, then we had to make those big plays, and they were either getting kills through our block, or we were trying to overcompensate for that and losing our body control and getting in the net. So we're trying to learn from it. We're trying to get better at it. I think the block can be a big strength of our game. We've just got to be more consistent at it, which was one of our keys going into tonight, and probably ultimately why we fell a little short is just we weren't quite as consistent as we needed to be.
Obviously, senior night, Kyla Manning really stepped up. She's been so efficient and so productive on that left pin, with teams really knowing that she's going to be getting the bulk of the swings. What has she been able to do so well down the stretch to be that efficient, and what has kind of her time with the team meant these last 2 seasons?
Yeah, I wish teams didn't know that she was going to get the bulk. I think that we can be more evenly distributed, but she had the best shot selection. She was scoring points, and I think our other hitters were trying to hopefully learn from her of some of the shots they were hitting, but we weren't as effective in some other areas, which put a little bit more pressure on Kyla. But yeah, she's a phenomenal player. When we talk about the really good players in the conference, or the really good players nationally, they affect the game in a lot of different ways. And Kyla is, I think, one of the ultimate examples of that. Her blocking has gotten pretty good the second half of the season, which was kind of the only reason I'm mentioning is because it was kind of one of her areas that she really wanted to improve. But offensively, she's always been great. Serve receive, she's always been great. Her serve the second half of the season has been really good as well. We've been trying to get defensively, as a group up, and she's certainly done that too. So she's just a phenomenal volleyball player. At 6'3", with that athleticism and that volleyball skill and that IQ, it's hard to draw up a left side that's going to help your team out in more ways. She's kind of the epitome of that, and hopefully our younger left sides that are going to still be in the program have been able to learn from her over her 2 years here. But really proud. Her family has South Carolina ties, with her dad playing basketball here. Playing for South Carolina means a big deal for her. We're really glad that grad transfer was able to work out. One of the bright sides of the whole COVID situation with how that all played out was that we were able to bring her back for this second year. Kyla Manning belongs in a South Carolina uniform, and she's going to go down as one of the best players to wear it. I mean, she's just a phenomenal volleyball player, and she's been a joy to get to coach and to get to have a sideline view and watch her play.
Obviously, with the regular season wrapped up now, you got to wait a little bit before you learn your fate. Kind of give me the elevator pitch of where the team is right now when you're kind of hoping that the committee sees kind of the whole picture of a team with, a top mid-30s, high 30s RPI and some really quality wins. Not many at-large teams can kind of boast the numbers that the Gamecocks do. What's kind of your pitch for the committee?
Yeah, I think our RPI will probably ultimately fall somewhere around 38 or 39, which should be plenty to get us in. I think we're going to end up with 6 top 50 wins, depending on where teams like Rice fall if they're in the top 50. So I don't know if anyone on the bubble is going to have 6 top 50 wins. The only team in the we'll see how tomorrow goes, but so far the only team in the SEC to beat Kentucky. So we've got the quality wins. Washington State's doing phenomenal in the Pac-12 and another good win. So I think we've got plenty of good wins. I think we would have liked to have finished it off a little bit, but something they look at is the last 10 games, and our win against Kentucky comes in the last 10 games, and unfortunately after we lost Robbie. So we show that we can beat good teams even with the lineup that we're going to roll into the NCAA tournament with. So I think I would have liked to have solidified it a little bit more tonight, but I think we're hopefully safely in and getting to bring this team to the NCAA tournament for the 3rd time in the 4th year.